Okay, so we're to part 3 of our exploring Hyper-V with non-Windows operating systems, and I've got a just kind of a short list here of things I want to show you. Okay, it booted, it installed, it booted, it automatically logged us in. What I want to show you first of all is the menu structure. Again, this is the KDE Plasma. So here off of we click on the gecko. And this is our favorites, and these will be the applications that you've used most recently. And it pre-filled it with some real popular ones. Libra or LibreOffice is like OpenOffice or a Microsoft Office kind of equivalent. It's actually quite feature rich. A file manager for working with the file system settings. This one here might throw you off. Console with a K. Let's go ahead and do that here. And I'm going to leave that open. I'm going to ask you for a screenshot here. I'll go ahead and shrink it. But it opens up with your current logged on user on the local host, and this is the command prompt environment. And just like there's multiple desktop environments, there's multiple command prompt environments that actually use different syntax. A common one is bash. Okay, and that's right there. It's we talk about that playful cleverness. Let's see, bash is an acronym for born again shell. And you think, I don't think there's meant to be anything derogatory about that, because there was a shell called Born, like spelled like Jason Bourne, in the Bourne Identity movies, Bourne. And this was a reversion of that, or a rework of that, so they call it Born Again shell. There's a corn shell, again, just to be kind of funny. All right, so shell environments, and bash is by far the most popular and has been for a long time. Another thing that I want to show you, well, first of all, did I finish showing you the menus? Okay, so we have that, we have applications, and computer, and I want to encourage you to play with this stuff. History, and then how do you shut down a machine? It's down here, so you come down here and you could restart or shut down. Okay, so I wanted you to see that. Now, because it's Hyper-V and virtual, if you're worried about hurting something, remember that you can come over here and you could checkpoint it. In fact, I did. Notice I did here before I started this video. So you can checkpoint it, and then you can come in here and play all you want. And no matter what you do, you can revert it back. Okay. So another thing that I want to show you is it's fun to play with this, and I'm going to ask you for a screenshot of this, is to configure some type of custom wallpaper. A lot of stuff here. I'm going to go with, please play with it, but I'm going to go with picture of the day, and let's see, who would I pick today? Let's see what National Geographic has got going. Okay, and every day these change. So there's the one from National Geographic. Okay, there's pretty cool. What else do we got here? Flickr. Let's see what Flickr. Anyways, and these will change every day. They'll come up with a new one. Okay, did Flickr not respond for us? Doesn't look like it did. What else we got? Bing often has some pretty cool pictures. I like the astronomy ones as well. Okay, so you get the idea. So I'm going to ask you for a screenshot that'll show me some wallpaper customization. Along with that, you opened a console, and that it shows me what username that you used to log in, just to verify that you did your own installation. The other thing that I want to show you is if there's updates, and there will be just like every other operating system, there'll be updates, and they'll show up down here, and it'll tell you how many. It'll say, like however many, 7, 10, 15. They'll show up here, and you can click on them, and you can install the updates from there. Okay, now the last thing that I want to show you is one of the ways to install packages. Because this is a virtual machine, it doesn't have the drivers for Hyper-V built into it. This is becoming less and less of an obvious thing. You installed Windows 10, you installed Server 2019. You didn't have to add any drivers to it. That all happened automatically. When you're working with other products like VMware, it is a very necessary and common thing that after you install an operating system, that you follow up with installing the driver package for it from VMware. Okay. Now this is close, except what I'm going to show you isn't from Microsoft. And so what I'm going to do is it's kind of going to open a door here for a place where you can get lots of different software. So I just opened the default web browser in in OpenSUSE is Firefox. Okay, that's pretty cool. And it comes up to this landing page here, opensuse.org, and I'm going to go to packages. Okay, so it tells me it wants to know if I search for packages, and it selected Tumbleweed, but I'm using Leap, and so I say I'm going to search for Leap 15.2 packages, and then I'm just going to say Hyper-V, okay, and let it search on that. Okay, and it tells me here that it's got the Microsoft Hyper-V tools, the driver package, and it tells me that is specifically for OpenSUSE Leap 15.2. And so I can go ahead and install it from a website. Now that is pretty cool. Now what it's going to do is it's going to download a little commandlet that's going to then open in YAST. Okay, so remember YAST? YAST is unique to um, to open the OpenSUSE family. Okay. So this is YAST. Now you think it's YAST 2. Well, what was YAST 1? YAST 1 was command line and still is. You can open YAST from a command line, and then YAST 2 put a graphical front end on top of it. And so we just walk ourselves through the wizard. Tells us what it's going to do. And again, for the sake of a demo, I just want to get it installed for you. Here's again where it's going to be elevating in a Windows reference elevation. We need to provide the password of our account to say that we're approving this. You say, well, can I this remember it? Well, it only remembers it for this YAST session. Okay. So like if you reboot, it would ask you for it again. Actually, if you close YAST and open YAST, it would ask you for you again. Okay, so I got an error here, and I'll pause the video and figure out what's going on, then I'll come back. All right, so let's try this again. I had this happen to me in my earlier practice install as well, and such is the nature of Linux. And I'm leaving this in the video because I don't want you to get the impression that everything always runs smoothly. So what I did is I switched it from the earlier window was what did it say? It said Leap 15.2, and I went to all distributions, Hyper-V, and I did a search. And it gives me the full list here. Okay. Okay. And this is what I found worked for me last time, is I came down here and I clicked the official. OpenSUSE Leap 15.2 official, one-click install. So let's give that a try. You know, we talk about this in our labs and in our the different work that we're doing, in that the pace of change within our industry is pretty fast right now, and we're getting to where things just aren't perfect, and we're needing to build a comfort level with that. So in other words, 5 years ago, if this had errored, I would have thought, oh no, and I would reverted my snapshot, and I would have tried to figure out what's going on. And this time, I'm learning that you kind of roll with it a little bit. And so you can see here, this time it worked just fine. We got the software installation completed successfully. So you're thinking, oh, Randy, don't take that screen away. I need to see how you did that. Okay, let me show you that again. So what I did was I went up to software. Well, here, I'll just hold that right there. Still, that I don't think that did it. Let's go to the home page. Okay, I'm getting lost now. Okay, all distributions. So all distributions, and I searched on Hyper-V. Okay, and again, the value of checkpointing. I went with this one, and you're thinking, well, what are these other ones? They reference in there. If we were more familiar with Linux, we would recognize what these references are. You know, KMPPA, KMPVN, and these two are almost identical. but I went with the first one here, and then it gave me this list of version specific installs, and it said it was the official package. So like when we're doing this as a class, often what we'll do is we'll bookmark these. When I class, I mean in the second year, we do a lot of work with OpenSUSE, and so we talk about these things because it is a little bit of a hassle. But anyways, I went here to the official and I went to one-click install. Okay, so with Linux, this is incredibly normal. In fact, the idea that you could go to a website and install one click is like amazing for Linux. With Windows, we've seen errors in the lab, and we've seen that we've had to correct a few things. That's kind of like a newish thing in the last 18 months or so. But with Linux, it's just been, hey, the way it is, kind of a deal. All right, so that's my overview with you, and I want to encourage you to play with it a little bit, to come and try stuff out. Just check it out and see what's going on. If time allows. If time doesn't allow right now, you'll see this again. And if time does allow, and if you're a hobbyist or interested, then Linux is an incredibly fun platform to play with. Well, I won't take any more of your time. I'm going to wrap this up, and this completes this project then. You'll see the assignment in Canvas, the screenshots that I'm requesting, and pretty cool. Pretty cool that we can take Hyper-V, a Windows product, and yet it's grown to include non-Windows operating systems to virtualize those. So thank you for working with me on it, and have a great rest of your day.